Hey, my peeps, my curs, what's up? That's the first time I ever said that.
Like that.
That's weird. It's episode 42 going in the books. Two dudes talking about network marketing and other awesomeness that just pops into our mouth and we, just let it fall out. Curry, today, this one is in your wheelhouse, my friend. This is something that if you guys have been paying attention even a little bit, Curry has mentioned multiple times throughout the last 41 episodes. And we're going to do a full episode on it today, and that is the four color personalities or four personality colors, whatever you want to call it, cult of personality. Remember that song? That was such a great song. Remember when that band came out? It was like 89, 90. Getting off topic here. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, you're new to Two Dudes Talking, and you're just checking out maybe you're interested in network marketing. Maybe you want some tips on how to get better, how to, grow your business, expand more. Maybe you're just here because you think we suck and you want to give us a thumbs down. I don't know. Either way, we appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and give us a subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified anytime we put out new content, which by the way is every single week. We're pretty consistent at what we do, and consistency is the name of the game with network marketing. So, Curry, the four color personalities. First off, before we break down the colors, like what are the color personalities? If you could just kind of give us an umbrella sort of blanket speech of what are the color personalities?
So each of us, good morning, Dan. Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning, Curry.
Good to
What's
see
going on?
you. Good to see you. Thanks for having me on this beautiful day. It's
Oh,
snowing.
it is.
We're in another blizzard outside. We had 60-degree weekend to blizzard. So this is wild.
It's just so
Uh,
funny because, yeah, and my sister lives in other family too lives in the Northeast, and they're like 16 to 20 inches coming their way, and I'm looking out, and it's like sunny. I see palm trees swinging in the breeze. I'm just like, okay.
I'm looking at my buddy Ron Cole's Facebook post, and he's got a tape measure in the snow, and it's already at 20 inches of snow, and he
Oh,
said it's
well,
supposed to
I'm all
snow all
set.
day.
I'm all.
All
That's why.
right,
That's why
so
we moved south. That's yeah. Psh, nope.
so guys, every one of us have essentially two colors. You have a primary and you have a secondary, and that's the way that the world works. And we all have, and by the way, there are many personality tests. There's many, and if my cat messes up everything, I apologize. She just decided she wanted to come up and attack me. I know she's going to in a second, so we'll deal with that in a
Re
minute. But
really quick, Curry. I think it's just so you guys know like why we're talking about this. As you guys are out there talking to people, and hopefully you're talking to people at least via text or messenger or whatever. It's like once you kind of understand the psychology behind different personalities, you kind of have a better understanding of how to approach specific people. And I'll just tell you really quick, and I sorry to cut you off. I just my brain has to run right now because I have this thought in my head. Like when I was a store manager for a very major retailer, and I had hundreds of people down underneath me, you have to be able to identify people's color personalities. You have to be able to identify like how to approach certain people, how to talk to certain people, when you can joke, when you can't, when you need to be serious, when you need to, joke around a little bit. Like it's really important to understand these things, and having this base of knowledge that we're going to give you today. It might seem like, oh, here's a boring topic. I just want to know how to have the best, how do I sponsor people? Like that's actually what we're going to be talking about. So sit back,
and,
take some
and this
notes.
is the single greatest training that I've ever learned because it allows you to know, just like you said, you can identify the type of person and then structure your conversation
Absolutely.
based on knowing for sure what that person their personality is.
Yeah.
So if you're if you want to be good at sales, you have to understand psychology, and understanding the psychology of it allows you to approach people. And I want to say a word that is dangerous that I have been called many times in the phrase of it, but manipulation.
Mm.
This word is has been devastating to me. People have told me that I'm a master manipulator because I'm able to read a person, know what it is that they want and say and how they act and what their personality is, and present conversation in a way to lead them to a sale. And I don't know if it's manipulation or
I have another word
understanding
for
the
it.
psychology of the process.
I have another
So,
word for it.
oh, what's that?
Jealousy.
Right? They wish
Because
they
if
could do
someone
it.
says you're manipulative, I'm willing to bet that that person that said that is like, man, I wish I was good as he is.
Right?
I can almost guarantee it,
Right?
because it's yeah, like if you're it's by saying you're manipulative can also be, and I'm not saying it is, but it can also be another way of saying like, dude, you're really good at sales. And for
For
someone to
sure.
say that or think that or feel that, they're probably going, man, I wish I was as good as him.
Oh,
That's how I
and
see it. As
there's
soon as you said manipulative, like that's what that triggered for me.
well, thanks. I appreciate that but I
I'm
have
here for
been
you,
called
buddy.
it a lot. And it's not fun sometimes by the people who say it because
Yep.
but anyway, so there are four primary colors, and these are all around um the things that we naturally lean towards. So I am very analytical. I am that is a green color personality, a person who wants to know the details, the comp plans, the ingredients, the all the hows and whats, the history of the company. Is this, they're very inquisitive about all of it. They want to
Hmm.
know this stuff. And I will tell you, I'm going to give you some little tidbits about each color as we go, but a green personality is the slowest to grow personality. They are the ones who will literally spend like their ice, their knowledge on ice. This is a phrase that I have loved over the years.
We're just dropping phrase bombs left and right in this one.
Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. This has been said to me because I constantly want to know all the details. So, ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. Right? Like, write that down. Write that down. So that green personality could be one of your best people in your team for explaining the comp plan, for understanding, details about. So it's like you want to set up three-way calls with this guy or girl who is going to be able to explain the ins and outs of things that you might not even care about.
Hmm.
So if you are of a different color personality, it's like having those greens in your team are awesome, but understand that they're going to probably be the slowest to grow, but they're also very, very uh, engaged in the company, like in everything about it. So your greens are. It took me 4.5 years, 4.5 years to get good at network marketing because I was so focused on being green that I didn't let my second color personality out. And we're going to talk about my second color personality last because it's the scariest. It is the demon that we're going to talk about in just a little bit. But Dan, you got any thoughts on green personalities?
I mean, I see it a couple of different ways. For me, I am myself am very analytical, but I also blend that with I get very analytical after I join. So I see something and I want to do it because wow, what a vibe, what a feel. Like this looks great. I'm going to do it. Boom. I start, I go, I pay, whatever. And then I'm like, okay, now let me really sink my teeth into this and get all the facts and data so then I could then take this, mold this, shape this, make this even better than it already is. So I get, that's when I get the analytical for me after I kind of make that impulse decision. Um, and when I see this on the flip side, when I see when I'm talking to somebody, um, I'm not necessarily looking for a green when I'm out there doing my marketing and stuff like that because I'll give you a perfect example. I have several things that I offer on the side, like little affiliate deals and whatever. And some of them are like as cheap as like $7. And I'll have people reach out to me and be like, hey, can you explain more about this? I'm just like, no, go away. Because it's just, or they're like, so how does this work? And it's like they get so analytical over something that's like, you blow $7 in half a day on probably Starbucks or McDonald's or whatever, and it's like, and you want to get on the phone and you want me to explain and go over in detail what something on a sales page already tells you. No, go away. I don't want you. Like, I don't want you to waste my time, as Curry would say, time vampire. Like a lot of times the green personalities they get caught up before they can make a buying decision. But the good news is, Curry, to what you were saying, so there's kind of like a plus and minus to both, where after they get in and they get real analytical, they could be the person to go to for all that information. They could be a great, I hate to use this word, but I'm going to use it anyway, a great cheerleader. They could be the people that show up to every live, to every Zoom, to every training. They're there soaking in more information, learning more about the products, learning more about the services, and they're in it for the long haul. They may not be taking a ton of action, especially in the beginning, but they could be good once they join. That
And
makes
by the way, we're
sense.
going to talk about cheerleaders in a few minutes because there
Okay,
is a color that is cheerleaders, and we're going to talk about them shortly. But you ready to jump to the second one?
let's do it.
So the second color personality is yellow, and yellow personalities are going to be the most important people to your team building. That's I want to make sure that you understand what it is that I'm saying. Your yellow personalities are the people who are the most empathetic. They have feelings. They care about everybody. They want to work as a team. They want to engage with people. There are a lot of majority of women have a yellow personality type, and this is why women make the greatest network marketers around the world. They care about helping people. They care about helping people get started. They want to see people have success.
Mhm.
They themselves want to have success, and they're very nurturing. So, a nurturing personality. I want to tell you that when I take the four collar personality test, and I will tell you that there are multiple places you can take this specific test for network marketing, every single time my yellow is less than one. Like on a scale, like I have no yellow. Like I am not empathetic. I have no concern for anybody's feelings. I don't care about anything other than moving. And so my like if you don't want to work, bye. I won't hesitate to
Mhm.
tell people to quit. Like I'm not a yellow in their lifetime would never tell you to quit. They would give you a system of here's what we need to do to get you back on track and get you re excited and get you around the campfire. Yellow is your greatest team member. They will hold down, they are the glue to your family in your network marketing build. So you want as many yellows throughout your team as possible. What are your thoughts? Let me
Well,
hear. Let me,
again, as you explained there, Curry, I think that there's a lot of great positives to yellow for sure. A lot of great positives, and I guess I'll be the yin to Curry's yang, where also see yellows where we'll do two angles when someone's coming in and they're like, well, they're going to do everything to try to convince that person as to why they should join.
mm,
And when someone is in and thinking of quitting, they might do everything they possibly can to try to convince that person to stay, which is part of that nurturing aspect. They want to help that person. Where I think sometimes the yellows need to just learn to, sometimes you just got to let go so you can keep moving forward and not get hung up and focused on. And I can think of a perfect person in my business where, they're so focused on helping as many people as possible, but sometimes almost to a fault where it pulls them off their own game. And in their own game, they start making less sales and they start being less productive because they're so worried about what other people are doing and so concerned about what other people are doing. And when their team members are not getting the same results as them, they start feeling bad and wanting to help them, but to a fault where it almost hurts their own productivity.
yeah, and that could be an entire discussion on focused. If you are focused on helping others, you're not helping yourself. If you're giving more time to the team and management, and that is a real discussion in network marketing where
Hmm.
there are people who decide to go into management mode
Oh yeah.
way too early. And a lot of those people are yellow. They care about the success of their team versus worrying about their own growth and their own business and their own drive. Their drive is towards team versus themselves. And so
Hmm.
you can clearly see this with the actions and personalities of yellows. Like you can identify that. By the way, we didn't really specify identifying them, whereas a green, if the moment they start asking questions, the moment they ask one question, you
Hmm.
already know this person's green. You
Yep.
can literally see it. The yellows, they're going to ask about community. They're going to ask about, are there Zooms? Is there meetings? Can we go to these things? How do
Yeah.
we get started?
Yeah.
Is there a path
What's the
to
training
whatever?
schedule? Yeah.
Yeah, what's the training? They want to be involved in the community of it. They want to be in the family. They like the connections. All right. I'm ready to talk about the one that I hate the most. So we're gonna talk about
Oh,
we're
let's
gonna
do it.
single out the vast majority of humans on the planet that I can't stand, and that's gonna be your blue personalities. And by the way, my best friends are blue personalities. So we're gonna talk about how I I don't work with blues very good at all, but it's that's going to be almost all of them. By the way, I think the number is somewhere around 80+% of the population is blue. Okay. So blue people, this is not their hair color, but it could be. This is going to be all your fun loving people that don't have any urgency in life. They don't show up on time. They don't want to be present in all the things. They don't want to be, but I want to make some extra money. I might want to try some products. I might want to be a cheerleader. I'll
Hmm.
be on the Zooms and I'll be on the Zooms chatting while the leader's talking. I'll be the guy over here trying to give my 10 cents because I think my value over here has got some,
Hey, Susie
your blue.
Q, so good to see you on here. What's
Oh
going
my God.
on?
They're your hosts. They want to be the host of the Zoom. They want to be on there just, getting everybody riled up and getting the excitement and the fire and the guys, your blue personalities. And I've described all of these positions related to my faith so many times that the only way that I can describe them are your pew sitters. These are your people who are going to be there dressed, ready to be seen. They want to be seen. Guys, your blue personalities are, if you're talking to them and you are addressing them with how fun it is, you're going to have an advantage. If you know that there's a person who is very outgoing in their community, very involved in things because they want to be, and you just come up to them like, look, I found something that has got this incredible community, and we are doing something. And by the way, there's a little bit of money that you could make with it as well. But if you approach them with the awareness of fun and have an adventure and having a good time. This is why most of your blues gravitate to travel companies. They will run to a travel community because it's fun and it is
Hmm.
exciting and they're like, "Yeah, I want to do it." And then once they're in there, they ain't building for crap. They ain't building nothing. These are your pew sitters, man. They're going to be great to be customers. They're going to be great to maybe refer one or two people. This is why the number in network marketing is the average network marketer enrolls 4 people. And it's because if 80+% are blue and they ain't working, they're dragging down the entire numbers of the statistics. And this
Hmm.
is literally why your blue personalities are going to be the vast majority of your people. They don't care
Yeah.
about making the extra money. They don't care about they want to just have fun and be part of it and be at the Zoom and just be seen and be involved in. Guys, go to any church around the world and look at how many people. This is the way you can see this. This is a very good visualization. How many people are being involved in activities in the church, like Sunday school teachers, helping with the parking, doing all the activities, versus how many people are sitting in the pews, not doing anything but just putting a little bit of money in the collection plate. They're not there to be involved. They're there to either just be part of it, make a donation, be seen, have their fellowship with their community, but they're not going out to build a new church. They're not out there working. They're not volunteering. They're not doing anything other
Hmm.
than. So your blue personality. So as I'm building a team and I'm trying to run with hair on fire, and I'm just stacking blues and stacking blues and stacking blues because those people are paying the bills, but I need builders.
Yep.
So your builders are not going to come from your blues, but you might find a blue who has the second personality of a green or a yellow, or where we're going next. Before I go to the last one, we're going to talk about your view on blue. I think you have a little blue, Dan. I really do. I think you have a little blue.
Me?
Yeah,
Oh,
just a little bit.
I got some blue for sure. Because I mean, I certainly like to have a good time.
I like
But
to have a good time.
I also, I also get work done.
Yeah, yeah.
I get a lot of work done, and I get more work done than most. Um, but man, the perfect thing that comes to mind here is a lot of these things, Curry, as you're talking about them. I picture myself like going through if I'm on like a live webinar, and I do a lot of live webinars, whether it just be like a Facebook live or a TikTok live or a webinar for my team. But like when I see people in the comments and they're like, "Hey, rah rah rah," or whatever, it's like being able to identify, not just about blue, but being able to identify who's who based on their comments, based on the questions, and quickly, instinctively at this point, like kind of knowing how to react to that person in a way that's going to keep them engaged, that's going to get them to take action, that's going to get them excited or whatever it is. But knowing these personalities for you guys as you grow into more of an experienced network marketer, as you maybe even grow into a leader and you're doing your own Zooms and webinars and whatever, or you're just live on Facebook and you're just talking about business or life or whatever, being able to identify these colors and these personality traits is going to do nothing but help you. Because as an example, like if a blue comes in there and they're like, "Hey, everybody, are you guys fired up and excited for tonight?" Be like, let's say that was Beth, like, "Yeah, Beth, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I'm so excited right now." But, and then you kind of lean into, "Hey, we got something amazing for you, super exciting for you, but there's something that you guys need to go do in order to make this happen." Like you kind of just identify it. Most importantly, like acknowledge their personality type so it kind of engages them, and then shift that into obviously the direction, the action that you want to take. So I think if you can help people that are in a specific color, help them feel engaged, help them feel noticed, help them feel like hey, you picked up on what they were saying, it's going to help you so much more. When I think of blues, Curry, a perfect example is this is about a year and a half ago in my team's Facebook group. And by the way, this is like the perfect example. Um, my team's Facebook group, we had, gosh, I don't even know, a little over 6,000 people in the Facebook group. And everybody in the group is all a paying members. These are all paid members. And I had this one thing that if everybody did, and this was part of the business, part of the, um, one of the services in the business that we were in. And I said, if everyone goes and does this, it will literally put more money in your paycheck every single week, every single month. And on average, it can increase your paycheck up to 10 to 15%. And I said you could do this very simply, very easily. All you have to do is watch this video and then go do the thing. 6,000 people in the Facebook group. thousands of paying members. You know how many people I had to actually go do the thing? And the reason why I wanted it in there was the social proof. I wanted everybody else in the Facebook group to see like, oh wow, look how much money that person's saving. Look how much money that person's putting in their pocket. Look at all these people. I'll give you a number. You know how out of 6,000, you know how many people actually went and did it over the course of 8 months? 8 months of having that pin post up at the top of the Facebook group.
I'm
And
going
whatever
less
it
than
is, you're going to be
20.
way off.
I'm going to be less than 20.
12.
12. Yeah, that's it. But that's a good number. That's
It's
exact, dude. That's what
it
happens.
just it just boggled my mind and blew me away all at the same time. But at the same point, it didn't surprise me because when you look back and you think about, the personality colors and all that other stuff, and it's like so many people are in there just to be in there, just to
Just to
be in
be
the
in.
group, to be part of the community, to be like, yay, everyone, let's hug and kiss and celebrate the fact that like wave the pom poms, we're here, like yay. Um,
Dude,
you just
these are your members who go join the Moose or the Elks or the Lions or all these little fraternities and sororities. And these are the
yeah,
people who are in it for the community, and they gravitate and run to these. Like as veterans, we have VFWs and Dave and all these other things and they're not for anything other than the cheerleaders.
yeah.
And they want to be in the community of it. People ask me all the time, Curry, why don't you go volunteer? Why don't you go do some stuff? And I'm like, I'd rather tear my eyes out. Like I'd rather I'll give a donation. I will literally help anybody, but to give my time, spend it with people doing some stuff that no, I don't have that spirit. I got none of that spirit in me.
Yep.
So, all right, I'm
Yeah.
fired up for this one.
It's
I'm
yeah,
fired up.
blues are everywhere, and I mean they're great. They show up. Um, Great for okay, now let's get really real for a second here. If you have a type of comp plan where you just want to fill holes, so like a matrix,
Oh yeah,
and you just want to fill holes so you can pad your paycheck, blues are great.
that
Pile them in there.
dude,
Pile them in there. But
I'm so aware.
that's, as long as your personal production is good and you can pile them in there, because they'll stay, they'll hang out, they'll cheerlead, they'll show up, they'll pay the membership fee every month. Probably much less likely to quit than a green or a yellow. Um, and they'll be in it, so you can certainly fill holes and you can pad your paycheck with blues. Just don't expect them to be a top producer. Don't expect them to be a team builder. They're most likely there for, as Curry said, the community. But they're
And
great. They're great to fill up your comp plan.
this is why in binaries they kind of suck at. It's because you really need people. You need to find the people that I'm about to talk about,
Need some
and it
builders. Yeah,
you need. And we're going to talk about the builders right now. And if are you ready? Are you ready with it?
bring it.
So your red personality types. These are your people who are bull in a china shop. That's the greatest way to describe a red is that they have no concern about anything. They found something, they're excited about it, and they're going to go tell everybody, and they don't have any. And so when you there are, you want to try to slow this down because I get excited about reds because I am red green, and my red green is almost 50-50, which is weird. It is not like I don't have an overarching one. Mine is very 50-50. But I have watched, list building modules by Eric Worre where they talk about you're going into your communities and you're looking for the guy who is the head football player, the quarterback. You're looking for the pastors of churches. You're looking for, and they're describing red people. That's the
Yeah,
people
people who lead teams.
who lead, the
Yeah,
people who are out there aggressively. They're running. They're going to be the people ahead of everybody else.
yep,
These are the people you want to put in your business, but they're also the hardest ones to put in your business. They're
Yeah.
going to be the toughest to sell because they're going to be already busy. They're going to be
Yeah.
already involved in something. They're going to be excited about what it is that they're doing. They're going to be driven. I have a career. I have a very 20 plus year career. And when somebody approached me for network marketing, I was like, I don't need that. I'm already doing all this stuff. I'm already traveling. Why would you try to sell me a travel company when I'm already traveling 80% of the year and blah, 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 blah. And so
Hmm.
as I was busy, I didn't see the value in it for me. And
Hmm.
so, for a red personality who, by the way, is going to be your biggest builders, they're going to be the people who run through a brick wall, the people that everybody wants to be like, the person that everybody wants, they're chasing ranks. They see that there's a way to get to the top of the comp plan and they're just running. They
Hmm.
like, if Dan signed me up in a company today, I'm the guy that Dan doesn't need to talk to.
Yeah.
I will come to Dan if I have questions.
Yep.
Your reds, you leave them alone. You don't yellow them. You definitely don't blue them. You don't blue them. Greens will slow them down. I am guilty of knowledge on ice. I literally will get caught up in a comp plan, the details, because I'm green. And then, so to tell you guys my real story, 4.5 years in a company, I had finally got to $500 a month. I was crap. And I knew the color personalities. I knew what I was. I knew what was going on. I knew what my pain points were, but I couldn't get out of my own way.
Yeah.
And I will never forget sitting in a hotel room in Miami, Florida. A company had just been introduced to me. I got excited about what it could do, and I'm sitting there looking in the mirror like I'm looking at you guys right now. And I stood eyeball to eyeball, and I said, "I am killing my green side." And this is something that I've been told shouldn't be possible to do. But I was told this by one of the top people who know personalities around, in the whole world. This guy and I had a conversation. I said, I told myself I was killing my green side because I told myself I'm going to do the one thing that makes money and the rest of it I don't care about anymore. And I focused entirely on inviting and changed my entire life. I
Hmm.
literally said, I'm going to be red 100% of the time. And I will tell you, for those of you who are red, and for those of you who are around reds, reds will hurt your feelings. Reds will step on all your toes, not just
Hmm.
one of them, their whole foot. They're going to step on your calf. They're going to literally be so aggressive that they're going to burn some people. I will tell you because I am one, and I just have this belief now that if you can get out of your own way with your other personality types, and you find your second one, whatever it is, it may be your powerhouse. It might be the secret weapon inside your system. So
Hmm.
this is my passion now, is finding reds and looking for aggressive people and knowing that I've got to run through the numbers to find them, because it's not, they're going to find mostly red or blues, and then you're going to find a lot of greens, and then you're
Hmm.
going to find a few yellows, and those yellows are going to hold those other two colors in check while I'm still out here running to get reds. And it's like, I'm not stopping for whatever reason. I'm not slowing down. Y'all stay back there, do what you got to do. I'm going to go build another church over here. I'm a church builder. I'm a church builder. I'm a church builder. I'm a church builder. And it's crazy. So I'll shut up now and give you a, because I
No,
know
it's all
you have a lot of red too.
it's oh yeah, for sure. Because I'm one of those folks, and I've said this out loud so many times where um it, I'm a jump off the cliff and build the plane on the way down type of guy in a lot of things. I definitely have some green, but I feel like for me, at least from the inside looking out, I feel like I'm a red and then the green comes into play. Like, but it's after I've already jumped off the cliff and I've built so many things where it's like, oh my gosh, like I got it, let's go, boom, 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 and I'll roll it out. And it's not even 100% done. And there's something that literally like I have that I'm working with right now that isn't 100% done, but I'm just getting out there, I'm sharing, I'm doing the thing, and I'm like, oh my God, just go, just sign up. Don't even think about it. Just go, just go, just go, just go, 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 go. And then I get the greens, and they're like, well, what about this thing here? What about that? I'm like, dude, just sign up, just sign up, lock in a spot. Don't even think about it. I'll get back to you. Just go. Well, I'm like, all right, get out of my way, like it's, and then I've said in those conversations, like, I'm literally jumping off the cliff and building the plane on the way down, but trust me, this puppy's going to fly and it's going to take off and it's going to soar. And that's the feeling and that's the vibe that I get. And I love it. That brings a lot of people in. But yeah, then when you have that red and you're just go, 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 you start seeing, for me, I'm sure Curry, it's the same thing for you too, but you start seeing a lot more of when you know you've identified one color and you know you're in one color at that time, you can see the other colors. You can see the blues, you can see the yellows, you can definitely see the greens. Where sometimes when you're in a green and you're being analytical, you might not see the other colors as well because you're too caught up on getting all of that information and having all the facts and having everything you need, where it's just like red for me is easier to see the other colors, if that makes sense.
I want to say this the right way
Say it
because
anyway.
I'm guilty of this. I'm so driven that I'm not looking back to see.
Yeah.
So if I don't have the energy or time or want to apply the effort most of the time, and I'm being very honest and transparent, that if y'all aren't coming along with me, I'm not waiting for you.
Yep.
I'm going to give you all the same tools, the same scripts, the same resources that I'm using. And if you don't want to apply them, I'm not going to take the time to baby you to bring you up to my speed because if you there's so many analogies that we could say, but if I slow down, you're slowing me down.
Yeah.
You're dragging me back. I'm not pulling you along.
Hmm.
And you can't push it. You can't push a rope. You can't drag your team. You can hold their hand for a minute. You can literally say, look, you're either coming with me, but if they slip out of your hand and go right back to what it is, it's on them.
And
You have it's tough.
but that's where reds will hurt feelings.
For
And I'm sure,
sure.
I know, I don't even have to guess. I know you've been in this situation. I've been in this situation where I've had people, you know, as an example, when they're looking at a $7 opportunity, $7 join price, and they're like, "Well, can you explain this?" And I'll, just say, "No, I can't. Either join up or don't, or I'm not going to get on the phone with you here. So you either need to get started or get out of the way." And they'll be like, "Well, you're such a dick," and blah 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 blah. Why can't you just answer all my questions? And it's just like, move, and and you're gonna step on toes, and you're gonna hurt feelings when you're in a red because you know it, sometimes sometimes you need to tell people to get out of the way. Sometimes you need to tell people to put up or shut up.
And this is why yellows in your team are so valuable because I have yellows in my team who are like, oh, don't worry about Curry. Don't worry about what he's doing. Don't worry. They'll literally vouch for me and help them recover. Like they're over here,
Yep.
like they're my triage. They're handling all
Oh yeah.
the if
I've
I've
had
burned some
those.
people. Like there's my burn unit team over here that I have
It's a
set
good
them
way to
on
put it.
fire. Oh, so you
Triage.
have yeah. It's like, listen, you don't need to handle these people, and then it's like, go ahead and plug them into the stands. They're not going to be in the field. They're not going to be playing. There
Mhm.
are so many analogies that we all could use,
Oh yeah.
but the four color personalities. If you know that somebody is a green, you got some accountant, you got somebody that's been a secretary for their whole life, and they haven't They haven't done much, and they because they get stuck in what they're doing. And it's like help them discover what their other personality type is. So, guys, there are, and this is making me want to build this today. I think I might actually build a new four color personality website
Well,
for. Go ahead, but there are
I
at
was just
least,
going to ask if you knew. I wrote it down over here because you learn to think on paper, as Jim Rohn says. Got to throw that in there. Um, I think every episode we need to have a Jim Rohn moment from here on
yeah,
out.
just a moment.
We need it. We need a Jim Rohn moment. It's just it's too easy. Um,
So there are two, by the way, two websites that have
yeah. Can
network
someone go do a
marketing.
test?
Yeah, and there's a test, a full test. And let me tell you, the first person who introduced this to me was his name's Mark Assetti. He's one of the best internet trainers on the planet, or network marketing trainers on the planet. Has a very strong belief in edutainment. Like literally, he will. Most of his trainings are through plays, so you remember the entertainment. He talks
Hmm.
about how we all know the words to thousands of songs, but we don't know, things that we learned in high school. But it's
Hmm.
because you're entertained and your brain remembers this. So if you go to marcacetta.com, Marcacett, something like that, Marcacetta. If you go to his website, he has on there four color personality test, and you can take it. It's free. He has a
Hmm.
CD that covers the stuff that we're talking, or DVD that covers all the stuff that we're talking about today. This is where I learned it. And then Big Al, who is also one of the biggest network marketing trainers, written I think over 100 books on network marketing and people building and understanding how to talk. And he has a training test for personalities, and he's actually the person who probably it was all based on before. Like Mark probably based his off of Big Al, um, and uh, that test is just, you just take some questionnaires, you answer it directly, you don't answer it the way like. Don't go into a personality test with your opinion of what you think you are.
Mm.
Just answer the questions and
Yeah.
let the test tell you, and then do the test again like a week later, and then really start understanding where it is and how you are and how you respond to these things, because it's going to define who you are and give you a way to help your team understand who they are. So if
Yeah.
you understand these tests, and so there may be at curryrussell.com/ four color personality test here in the next day or so. I may have my own that I build today just because I know I can build it now, and actually set that up and maybe has some fun pieces to it. But guys, knowing your personalities, not just yours, but knowing other people's personalities, allows for your conversations to go so much faster. Like if you know a person is an analytical person and they love numbers and love all this stuff, you want to get them to that comp plan as fast as possible. You want to get them to the business side of it. Don't you ever. This is what people did to me. People approached me with a travel club, and they didn't tell me about the business.
Hmm.
I didn't even know there was a business. I joined a travel club and then went to my first network marketing event in Akron, Ohio, and changed my whole life because I saw the business and I saw the numbers and I thought, oh, this is crazy. So for an analytical person, you want to get them to the comp plan. You want to get them to the business. You don't want to bring them through some nutrition, all this blah, blah, blah. They don't care about that. Now, they might care about ingredients. They might care about where it's from, and they want to get all the details, and they want to know where it's shipped from. And they want to know all the stuff. But man, you get an analytical person to numbers and information, they're all about it.
Hmm.
You get a blue to the fun of it and the community of it, and you get a yellow to all of the taking care of people and
Hmm.
inviting. Look,
Community.
you get them into that feel good. Oh, the feel good. The oh, dude, do you know how much I care about feel good?
Hmm. Well, you know what? It makes me think about like when you understand this stuff just a little bit more. Let's say you're emerging into a leader, or you want to become better branded, a better leader, a better whatever. You could have a Facebook group, your community, your shell, right? And then inside of your Facebook group, you could have different pinned posts at the top that cater to each color. Hey, for all the yellows, here we are, here's our community, blah, 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 blah. And then for all your greens, all your analyticals, you could have a post right at the top that says, hey, here's the breakdown of the comp plan and all the data points that they need to know and understand. And you can have another pin post at the top for all the reds that are like, if you want to just run with this, these are the best posts, content, videos, folders, all your stuff you need to just take this and run. And like you could cater a whole group and community around the colors and help each person get to the info, the thing, the feeling that they need to be involved the most if you know and
This
understand
is
the stuff.
this is actually helping me, by the way, because as soon as you said that, I thought, I wonder if that's why I'm struggling to get sales in a certain area because I don't focus on the community at all. And maybe I need a community and a community leader. And I even thought of one to build a community around what it is that we're doing
Mm-hmm.
that would possibly attract more people who are in that blue group that
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about whether they're winning or losing, but just helping fill the seats.
Yeah.
And and it's like your church needs that. You have to
Yeah.
have
You,
blues.
as an example, like, I'm not doing it right now, but I'm going to be getting back to it. There were points where in that community that I talked about earlier, we were live every single day, and a lot of the times was me, but sometimes it wasn't me. And you can often use and sometimes need those people. And I would love to be able to identify people other than myself that could go live on a daily basis or put out content on a daily basis that helps all those blues, that establishes we're a live, active community of people coming together, answering questions, getting people to take action, you know, supporting each other, doing all those things, and identifying people that, hey, like, this might be a cool fit for you. This might be a cool thing for you is to help lead this community. Because then it gives them a vested interest. And you can also maybe, I don't want to get too technical here, but you maybe could reward them by, setting up some sort of link rotator where you're feeding them sales every now and then because they've stepped up into your community and they're helping lead. But there's a lot of different ways to approach and attack this. And dude, Curry, I think we could almost do um, now that we've identified the colors, we could almost do like an attack plan in another episode where we talk about how to market once you know and understand the colors and go from there. Because now my once my brain starts, it doesn't shut up. So I'm thinking all the different ways that you could set up communities and branding and all this other stuff where you're working with the color personalities, but you're doing it in a very specific and strategic way.
Oh, I mean, now you're helping me go down a different, an additional path of the website. We're gonna, after you get your color,
I told you,
here's
I
your plan.
say it all the time. I'm here for you, man. It's just,
Oh,
it's funny. I put in while we were hanging out here, I put into chat, I just said, hey, what's the best place to go do a color personality test for yourself? And it gave me a few different resources and, here's the color code sheet. And it even related it to animals,
oh yeah,
lion,
there's a
otter,
ton. Yeah,
retriever, golden retriever, or beaver. Between
I
like,
don't even want to
workers and
know
obviously
what the
we know
golden retriever is.
a lion's a red, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then it was funny in big bold font. It said for you, DK, red. You're building teams, recruiting leaders, negotiating high level partnerships, and launching position plays. Like, and it immediately identified me based on the what year plus or whatever it
Yeah.
is I've been using chat like on a day-to-day basis. It's funny how it just kind of picked me right out. But again, obviously Curry gave you guys a name to go check out. You guys can also go to Google, go hit up Gemini, go hit up ChatGPT, but go do your own research. Go get out there and figure out, what two colors you mainly fall into. Go get that data. Go get that knowledge and understanding of, you know, that
Can
area
we
of your
just
life
say it?
because all it's going to do is help you. And that's the whole point of this in this episode is to help you have an understanding because once you understand it for yourself, you're going to be able to identify that with others that you're speaking to and help them even better.
So what we'd like for you to be is better at sales. We would like you to be better at this entire game. And if we can help you through these 42 episodes and the future, that's all we do this for. We have no, by the way, I want to point this out on episode 42. We have never mentioned a network marketing company that either of us promote. We have no sponsors of this. We have only one purpose, and that is helping people do this better. And we get nothing out of it. Like we're giving our time purposefully to help the global community of it with nothing asked for in return other than you hit the like or subscribe button so that we can keep helping you. So I don't I want to say this publicly. I don't know too many marketers who aren't in it for something, their own little training, their own little course, their own little guide. They're like, we don't have that desire. Of course, we want you to uh, be part of network marketing, but we love this, and we both have profited off of helping people, and so this is what we do.
Amen to that, brother. And I just wrote down a note for next week, as long as we remember what we talked about, which that's why I write things down.
I
Jim
write
Rohn moment
notes.
number two, learn to think on paper. So um, had to, sorry. Uh, yeah, how
We
to
didn't say
attack
the
your
C
business
word either.
knowing
We did
the
not
color
say the C word.
personalities. So
We we didn't say the C word once either. Even in my red
no,
talk, I
let's see
left
if
the
we
C
can
word
refrain
out.
from saying that, even though it's there. You guys know what it is if you guys have watched it. But by the way, man, like Curry, what a great episode! What a great episode to really dive into the psyche and psychology of personalities. And I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, and you somehow made it to this point in the video, we're coming up on an hour now. Just do us a favor and comment the word value down below. If you haven't already, like this video, possibly even share this video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, maybe the bell icon so you get notified when we put out part two of this, which will be how to attack your business, knowing the four color personalities. I think that would be a fun episode to do. And as we
A
get
part
closer
two?
to episode 50, man, it's good stuff. We're here for you guys. We're here for you. Just to and one of the we talked about this right before we press record. Uh, Curry and I have both been through some ish in life and dealt with some stuff, and we're really focused on just the things that bring us joy, and this is one of those things. So we're here for you every single week. We press record, we speak our minds, and we do it because it brings us joy, and we hope it brings you guys joy. And we thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on 43, right? Yeah, 43. Episode 42 in the books. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.